What a day. Let's see if this makes any sense. Here's the bearing. The problem with having a geocentric model is, how does the bearing work? Somewhere you have to have forces crossing over each other at the center of any system which has a fixed point center. Okay? There must be. Euler proves it, and mathematically it's provable. And so what I'm saying is, Leve has proven the bearing, how it works. So the only way that it can work is if the supports can pass through each other. So that in this construction, I've shown here is the center point, and it is joined by something, a string, from the center to the outside. So the center is suspended from this string. Now, in that model, it won't work, will it? Because it won't go round. Those things will be crashing into it. However, if these are built from light, twisted light, and that's what supports that, and this is built from water, matter, then the matter can easily just go through the light. It doesn't even notice it. A magnetic field, equally, will just pass through light, but it will bend it. There'll be some bending, of course. So it'll affect this, but it can pass through it. So what the effect of this bending of the light from the electromagnetic field that we create from the spinning piece of matter which exists there. So I'm just going to talk you through this bearing because it builds itself. Remember, this is simultaneous time. All these actions occur at the same time when viewed from real time, but they're causal in real time. But nonetheless, positions can be constructed without, ready in time, ready to receive an action, which is the way it works. It's confusing, but it's doable. So at the center of the wave, which is actually a glacier, you get the icicle hangs down. Now, I think this is flexible. Leve proves it's there's something going on here between the axes. Because here's his Leve, this is his AB5, showing the resultants of the statically indeterminate loads, the two vectors. And what it shows is that the vector axis is created now. You can see it. It jumps from there to there. So this is one model. In another load case, that is there. So that the load is not on the supports. What Leve proves is that sometimes the load is here on the support, twisting anti-clockwise or clockwise, and then sometimes it's between the supports. And so in these two cases, it's between the supports. And this is showing you the x-axis, the vector axis, how it's created. Why is it unstable? Because it flicks from there to there. This point of load just is moving, is doing that each moment. It's turning, it's swinging, but it's swinging. And so it's this, the nozzle. So there's the nozzle as it comes down, and here's my bearing. So I'm going to build it back out again, but I want to show you where the light connects. So that the bending light connects here. And here, in the fluid around a piece of ice, which exists at the nozzle, the fluid around here is light and water, the two together. And there is some friction between them. And that some friction must be zero in order for the system to work. We're trying to have no friction at all in order for two entities to pass through each other. So the fluid light is now made into, so the fluid light is now holding from the outside, supporting this fluid here, but there is some friction, and that friction realizes itself through the motion of the tip, just between there and there. So this tip, you can imagine the beak is flexible, and it moves from there to there, because it's made from ice and light. So it's an unusual construction of a glacier because it's got light in it. And I think it's to do with the meltwater runs around this way in terms of the bending moments, because you end up with bending moments everywhere because of the motion. Straight line, Fibonacci spiral, infinite transition curve. Hemisphere, c squared, circle, area, electromagnetic force, spin, strong force, orbital angular momentum. So I was just going to, this is how it's built itself. I think this is what it looks like from, if we were from an alternate reality and we could look at the universe as it truly looks. This is what the center looks like. This is the solar system. That's what we can see. There'll be a beam of light coming out the top. This is the 137 hole that's created in a structure that turns itself inside out. So I hadn't explained that. This fluid membrane turns itself inside out every time. So there's always new energy facing the old energy. So this is what we look like. We're a beacon in the middle of the universe. Look, we have a beam of light coming out the top, hanging from the North Star, from the Pole Star, pendulum. Yeah. And we've got a ring of fire around the outside. We've got half of us is in light, half of us is in darkness, and we've got airflow inside, caused by the water moving, creating vacuum inside perpetually. Oh, gosh, that's quite long. Hopefully that's made some sense. I'll try and do a proper one, but it's good to try and talk these things out, I find, as soon as they're coming to me. And did you notice how Levy explains the principal axis? Did I mention it was 1915? Come on, physicists. Welcome to New Earth.